In this video, we return to the site where we filmed the first weekly video on this channel. Back then, this was known as Flintstone's Bedrock City, but now it's Raptor Ranch. So we're gonna take a look around and see what's changed. Raptor Ranch is located on Highway 64 in Arizona, between Williams and the Grand Canyon. It first opened as Flintstone's Bedrock City in 1972 and has been a really fun roadside attraction for over 50 years. A few years ago, they lost the rights to call themselves Flintstone's Bedrock City, and there was some worry that they'd be undergoing some pretty major changes, but luckily things actually got better instead. The classic Bedrock City was preserved while adding some really cool updates. As soon as we entered the gift shop, before we even went into the park itself, there were a couple of hawk chicks being shown, and they were absolutely incredible. And you were even able to pet them. Heading out into the park itself, one of the first changes we noticed was a dinosaur fossil dig site near the entrance, and some more realistic looking dinosaur statues, like the kind of dinosaurs you would see in Jurassic Park rather than the Flintstones. Of course, the biggest change at the park since its days as Flintstone's Bedrock City are the birds. As soon as you enter the park, one of the first things you'll see is an enclosure with a number of falcons in it. At Raptor Ranch, they don't just have birds in cages though. I thought one of the neatest things, and something that I think is worth the price of admission alone, is that they have hourly bird demonstrations now. On our visit, we got to see two. One with an impressive owl named Stinky, and one that featured a raptor flight demonstration. We thought both demonstrations were really cool, and it was pretty amazing to get so close to these incredible birds. For the second demonstration, the Falcon flight demonstration, I think we were the only ones in the park at the time, so we pretty much had our own private demonstration, which was pretty neat. All of the Bedrock City buildings are still here too, and it's great to see them still being kept up. I've been coming here since I was a kid, and it's always been one of my favorite roadside attractions. Nothing has changed much in Bedrock City since our last video on it, but it's great that Bedrock is still here to be explored. So here's the doctor's office. Let's take a look inside. Well, I guess this doctor is also a dentist. This operating table, some crutches. Oh, and this is really cool. I remember coming here as a kid, and there would be statues like this all over the place, and some of them even had pressure plates in front of them where you would step on the plates and the statue would talk to you, or the speaker next to the statue would talk to you at least. Looks like some prehistoric doctor's equipment here, and apparently prehistoric plexiglass. And here's the schoolhouse. Now, aside from the addition of birds, there isn't a lot difference between when this was Bedrock City and now that it's Raptor Ranch. Though the trash cans do have the Raptor Ranch logo on them. There's the school bus. And let's take a look inside the school. Looks like Barney Rubble is in here. And it looks like The Stone Age people of the Flintstones world knew that the Earth was spherical, yet very rocky. And here's the general store. And unfortunately, it looks like the general store is closed today. So here's Fred's house. Let's take a look inside. Dino's bowl. Fred's fireplace. Here's Fred's cactus. Looks like Pebble's high chair. Here's the Flintstones' bedroom. Now, a lot of people always wonder how Fred was able to get a woman like Wilma. And the answer is because he could really make the bed rock. Thank you. I'll be here all week. And of course, next door to Fred Flintstone is Barney Rubble's house. Here's Barney's living room. And it looks like Barney's house is probably the house that's in the best condition of any of the buildings that are out here still. This looks actually pretty good. So we saw the Betty Rubble statue earlier in the schoolhouse. Apparently the Fred, Barney, Wilma, and Dino statues were kept by the previous owner. So Betty's the only main character from the show that has a statue at the park today. I think I made a joke the last time we were out here asking why the Flintstones would need a gas station when their cars are powered by their feet. So I'll refrain from making that joke again. But let's take a look inside. Oh, here are the statues of Pebbles and Bam Bam. I mentioned earlier about the previous owner taking most of the main character statues. These statues were actually commissioned by the new owners of the park when they thought they were going to be able to remain Flintstones Bedrock City. I'm so glad this is still here and they kept all the original Bedrock City buildings. This is such a classic roadside attraction and we're so lucky it's still here. If you find yourself in the area, it's definitely worth making a stop at Raptor Ranch. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.